Thank you for stopping by to listen to my dad, Larry Witcher, otherwise known as the Professor of Useless Knowledge. I hope you enjoy it.
Okay, here we go. Let's get the professor in here. Come on in, Larry.
I'm coming in, Julio.
Yeah, good to see you this morning.
Yeah,
How you doing?
it's good to be here. You know, we were talking about off the air about credit
Yeah.
cards.
Yeah,
You know, if you ain't got no credit cards, and you ain't got no credit,
yeah.
you ain't gonna have no credit, and that don't make sense.
No, it sure don't, because I tried that. I can prove to you that because I paid off one time. At one time now, I ain't gonna say now, but at one time I paid off my credit cards and got them all paid off, and thought I had it made. And I went to buy something, and they said, "Well, apparently, Mr. Malcolm, your credit's not that good." I said, "Oh yeah, it should be." I said, "Because I paid off all my credit cards." They said, "Well, you hadn't charged anything in the last 2 years."
Yes,
I said, I hadn't had to. I paid off all my credit cards. And he said, "Well, we need 2 credit cards for you to be able to buy this."
yeah. Well, I tell you, if you
I had
don't,
to go back and get a card, man. Come on.
yeah, if you don't have credit, then you can't get credit. Man, don't stand a chance. Now, if I'm not here the rest of the week, Julio, there ain't nothing wrong with me.
Okay, what's mine?
Well, I got to notice my uncle Florida got a little problem, a little dilemma that he's in.
Oh,
He said he may need me some help to get him out, or at least to give him some advice
oh.
to help solve this situation.
Sounds like it's pretty serious.
Well, it could be. It's dealing with, he said all his life he's heard over the radio and the television and the church and his wife and his friends
Yeah.
about driving and drinking. Don't drive and drink. Don't drive and drink.
Right.
But, you know, with the holiday coming up, it's kind of hard to get out with your friends without doing just a little bit of drinking. And then if you ain't at home, you're going to have to either drive and drink or do something else, you know, to get back there. And he said many times, you know, on the way home after a social session that you have with your friends,
Yeah.
that you have some encounter with the law. He said a couple of days ago, here's his problem now. He says a couple of days ago, he was out with several of his friends, and they had they met at all that place, and they got to talking and a laughing and a eating and a cutting up. Wound up having several cocktails and a bottle or 2 of real nice red wine. And he don't know how many beers, a dozen or so, he says. Now, even though I was feeling jolly just a little bit, you know, I still had enough sense to know that I may be slightly over the limit. So he said I did something I never done before in my life. I took a cab home. And said, sure enough, on the way home, there was a roadblock. But since he was in a cab, they waved him on through.
Yeah.
He said, I managed to get home safely with no accident or no incident at all, which was kind of unbelievable.
Yeah.
Said, now, the problem is now, said the real surprise that he got home is that he had never drove a cab before. He said, I don't know where I got it.
Yeah.
I don't know who it belongs to.
Yeah.
Now that it's parked in my garage, I don't know what to do with it.
Okay, then. Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
Well, y'all sure welcome, but I may have to help him somehow or another.
You're going to have to, Larry.
Yeah, an uncle is an uncle, but an uncle in need is an uncle indeed.
Yeah, amen. Go see about him, Larry. Go see about him.
If I ain't here, you know.